Zion beckons. The call's been out there since days gone past with the glory overdue like a third trimester. And still the curse festers.
Signs are manifested, a nation I fight back. Times are relevant to revelation and aspects. Wars come trembling down like C4. The tabernacle and cities be broken by brute force.
By those who smite wicked in the day of the Lord, who march ranks with no blanks or break a cord. Fierce men with status esteem their placement. Swift steed take heed, run adjacent to the vision of the gifted and father's favorite. The great Abrahamic faith, the woven DNA of our father David. The nightmare has left the basement, so let it blow. We hotter than nutrients. Light brings life, but fire still burns men. This word here, golden, no need for your 2 cents. This blade we carry double-edged like fake friends.
These days have been outnumbered. Gone are the days of religion where they plot on us. They can't run us. These chains have been too far stretched. Our people grew from the bottom, raised a new type blessed. So when you hear this might sound complex, let me break it down and put it in context. Burn of what you idolize. Burn of what you harmonize. Burn your plans, burn your thoughts, burn your coaches, burn it all, because this will change your life.
Made with Christ, combined as essence. Gold follows glory, so mine is treasure. A year ago, we went from a jubilee shift to the literal manifestation of it.
Living, walking, treading sons of God, manifesting He inside of us. Blow the trumpets, let the world know.
Blow the trumpets, let the world know. Blow the trumpets, let the world know.
Boy, we coming.
Hey,
Hey, boy, we coming. Hey,
let's go. Come on, church, stand up.
boy, we coming.
Everyone up.
Boy, we coming. Hey,
Let's go.
yeah.
Get it.
Flow. They cannot play with us. The God in me really too dangerous. It ain't the type that you snort a puff when I say that I'm packing that
The
angel
angel
dust.
dust.
My people been waiting with patience. Trust we've been building. Seizing the city to take it and set it on fire. Think we don't know the game that they play. So go blow the trumpet in Zion. Cause I won't let bygones be bygones. The snake man is mad, she can test his own medicine. Yeah, squeeze on that neck like a python. Not one of them safe. Nah. Feel like I'm Jonah the way that I'm running it straight. War been suited for this. That's why the ties to my brothers will never be brief. Case you be thinking we shadow, now we reflect. Mirroring God to the set. Punkers be looking like Clifford. All my dogs big and they red. Fruit of the blessed. They ain't never seen it, ain't nothing like this to ever be. Pinnacle of purpose is profound with its centipede. Set the stage nation into itself. New breed, no hope yet, but the new Israel. You and me.
We didn't come in for the band, so we either throwing hands
Like
or
a
a tantrum.
tantrum.
When I say that, what I mean's wherever the John's at, what I sling will push his whole weight back. Playing no games, so my people stay in no chains or drive crazy. Trying to stay in no lane, I don't follow those ways. It's true, I'm a menace. When you a true son, you don't move like a 10 and I move with aggression. 2-inch weapon can't put me in a box. Goon and a reverend. Prove it, I've been it. Every time and this goon's getting checked is different. I got hell in my hands. Satan better run, he can't dwell in my land, yo. True sons of the hard route G, when they ask about me, tell them I am.
Tell them that this generation, there be no other like this. We be the manifestation. The day of the Lord is eclipsed. Blow the trumpets, let it rain down. Blow the trumpets, let it rain. See, blow the trumpets, let it rain down.
Blow the trumpets, let it rain. Boy, we coming. Boy, we coming. Hey. Boy, we coming. Boy, we coming. Hey. Let's go.
You never find another like this, we born clever. Every word that spears blaze the path better. A generation claim their place among Zion. Hands to the plow, we march to front giants. Tremble at the words that we speak, they all fall. Prophecy is written all over these four walls. Blood that creeps to these veins, claims the nation to raise an army, show we know we're more. Hey, they trying to murder this prophecy.
They hate the God in me.
They can't confine, they put on themselves. But we be the ones to remove it their veils. Boy, this is royalty, come from designer club. Straight from the 100-fold, tell them we be the law. We some guys that be walking revelation to the gates. Ain't what is walking like trumpets blow flames on a whole different pedestal. A grip tight, sharper than a blade in the center too. Stop and let you let it all off. Don't you bail too far, said and done. Everything that never shoot, boy. We not the type that no shake. We just the type to lay hands. Step out of line, we don't come to play. Blow the trumpets, let it burn.
Boy, we coming. Say it. Boy, we coming. Hey.
Let's go, man. Come on.
Hey, hey. Say, boy, we coming. Boy, we coming. Hey. Talk to them. Let's go.
That this generation, There ain't no other like this. We bring the manifestation. The day of the Lord is eclipsed. Blow the trumpets, let it rain down. Blow the trumpets, let it rain. Blow the trumpets, let it rain down. Blow the trumpets, let it rain. Tell them that this generation, there'll be no other like this. We bring the manifestation. The day of the Lord is eclipsed. Blow the trumpets, let it rain down. Blow the trumpets, let it rain. Blow the trumpets, let it rain down. Blow the trumpets, let it rain. Boy, we coming.
Hey, kia ora no tātou, and welcome to Validate. It's great to actually have you here. Take a seat. And of course, I really did want to be on the other side in with all the muscle, but had to judge the motorbikes. And I could have actually jumped over those things and lifted one or two of those other things. This is a guy who owns a Mustang. But anyway, what I'd like to actually do is just welcome you all here today. Our acknowledgements, of course, to Apostle Brian Tamaki and, of course, Pastor Hannah. But we're actually here to validate, and of course, some of those motorbikes out there were certainly worthwhile validating today, as was, of course, some of the guys that were over the other side. And as I said, I was ready. Oh, Call George was the only one that's actually clapping, but I was ready. But anyway, we've got the presentations of all the prizes today. And for those of you that were actually in the motorbike competition, it's your chance to actually win. Can I actually call up Peter Edwards to come and acknowledge all those that are actually winning? Here comes Peter. Don't forget, if you want to actually join Two Tangata Riders, of course, catch up with Pete and Aroha, and they'll be able to help you out because they have this awesome uniform for you, okay? And there's the only t-shirt that you get is if you're a Two Tangata Rider. Okay, so see Pete and see the rest of the team for Two Tangata Riders if you want to join that. But we're here to actually announce the winners. For those of you that were actually here today, of course, to vote the People's Choice. The People's Choice is going out to Shane Dempster. Okay, Shane, come on up, brother. We've got some cold hard cash. Shane. Okay. Gotta jump up here, brother. Hold that, Pete. Got some money in my pocket. Oh, there you go. You only got greenbacks today. There you go. Congratulations. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh. Sorry? Safe homes. Okay, safe homes. Very good. I'll give it to Elder Kane. There you go. I might as well give this all to you. No. Okay. And of course, we're going to go for the next winner. Here we go. And the next winner was actually for the best artwork of your motorbike. And that goes to Brett Wilson. Brett, brother. Okay. Here comes Brett. I don't want to have to sing a song or lift weights, Brett. Okay, here we go. Ka pai. There you go. You get a bit of a greenback as well.
Kia ora, yeah, give them.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, and of course we've got the next prize here, and the next prize actually goes for the best chrome, and the best chrome goes to Thomas Williams, brother. Okay, we're actually going to give you some apira nangata. Okay, we've got some apira nangata. So come on, brother. We've got the big kōrero from our apostle. Walking up is holding our time. Okay, here we go. Homai te paki paki. I've got to give it to you. There you go. Ka pai. Ka pai. There you go. And of course, we've got the overall winner. Man, this motorbike was for awesome. And it goes out to Tom Kelly. Tom. Mate. Okay. Tom. Oh, it's the Indian. Must be related to my wife. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 apiranangatas. Ka whai. Awesome. Okay, folks, I'm actually going to call up Lilia, and he's going to actually announce the winner of the muscle. Okay, it won't be me, Lilia, and of course Alvin. Ka pai, I won't be on this list, unfortunately.
Thank you. Kia ora, everyone. Yep, so we had a deadlift challenge this morning. It was a great turnout. There was a lot of strong men out there. I'm quite surprised, really. Especially in the 90 categories. There were some guys that were lifting really good weight. Before we start, though, we'll just give a massive shout out to our judges, all the ladies out there that came out today to help out. I'm pretty sure you can do a bit better than that, guys. Make a big shout out. And just another shout out to our mate that basically planned it out and how you guys are going to get tortured this morning. Give a big shout out for Alvin. But straight into it, number 1, first place, deadlift challenge. He reached 200 kgs. He did 8 reps and did 25 burpees on the burpees count. And that is Isaiah Ikituli. Come up here and collect your prize. Isaiah's prize, he gets a trophy as well as $400 for coming first place. Give another round of applause for Isaiah. Second place, this guy managed to get to 200 as well. He got 8 reps. On the burpee count, he got 14. Same again like Isaiah. Isaiah got 8, but he got 25 burpees. This guy got 14, and his name is Elijah Nicholas. Big shout out. Elijah walks away with cash prize of $100. In the 90s, 90 kg category, this guy also managed to get to 200 kgs, managed 7 reps, but on the max burpees, he did 20 burpees. Well, perfect timing. His name is Damien Clark. Come and collect your trophy as well as your cash prize. Walk slow, I know your legs are gone. Impressive work from Damien today. Unreal lifts, bro. Good work. And at second place, also meeting 200 kgs with 2 reps and with a cheeky 1 burpee on the max burpee, is Jamin Ormsby. Another round of applause for Jamin. If you guys can get in a nice little wee huddle so we can take a nice beautiful photo. Come over here. Get in the light. You can't really see Isaiah. In the middle. Get in the middle. Anyone. And, oh, right there. Camera right there. Well done. A round of applause for the guys. Good work.
Right, thank you very much again, and congratulations to all our winners. And guys, we're actually coming to the time that we've been waiting for all morning. But before we actually do that, I'd like to actually welcome up the National Director for, of course, Man Up, Elder Kane Warren. Homai te paki.
Thank you, George. Good morning, everybody. Great to be here today. So just very quickly, I've got 2 presentations. The first one is for the donations, the registration money that was collected today for the Deadlift Challenge and also for the Show and Shine. It's going to a very, very needy and powerful cause, and it's called Safe Home. Just very quickly, we are lifting the code of silence on family violence, and we're very strong about that in Man Up and Legacy around making sure that our homes are safe places to raise our children without violence, without drugs, without all those things that tear down homes. We're about building homes, and they're called safe homes. And so this donation, I'm going to ask Aroha Edwards on behalf of Safe Home to come and receive the koha that was raised today. It was $350 plus the cash donations that were just generously given at the end. And if you want to give me any more money, you saw that, just how easy it was, just after the service, give me some more. We'll give it to the cause. Just on behalf of Man Up, to Tangata and Legacy and this event today, just want to give you this money to Safe Home. And last but not least, the last presentation, 6 years of Man Up. 6 years we've been running a successful program right across Aotearoa and Australia. And that's part of the reason why we're here today too. I just want to put out a shout out to all the men that have come. Were you there, bro? And I know a lot of men have actually turned up today, just returned and come back, just based on that call to come home. Let's catch up today, brothers. We're going to have a feed and all that sort of thing later on, but just want to welcome you back to the house. Just on behalf of Apostle and all of our brothers here, welcome back to the house if you're here on returning. God bless. So here we go. We've got the cake, and I'm going to invite Apostle and Pastor Hannah. And Pastor Hannah's with us here today, guys. So let's put our hands together as we welcome Apostle, Pastor Hannah. 6 years. Oh, for the fun of it, let's just sing Happy Birthday to Man Up, eh? Okay, toru, fa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Man Up. Happy birthday, dear men that manned up. Happy birthday to you.
6 separate. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip.
Very cool.
Brothers.
Beautiful. Banana cake. Can't eat that stuff and do that, what they did in there. Well, I used to carry 200-pound pigs out of rubbish in my day. I couldn't do it now. Hey, you know what? It's congratulations to the winners. I told them I don't want to win today, okay? But these two bikes, that's my former bike, and I saw it in here today. Lewis owns it now. And I still got feelings for this Lewis, this bike. It's my first one that was decent. I started off with a matchless 500. Anybody know what a matchless 500 is? I rode that when most of you weren't born. And I was back home in the farm. That's what my uncle had. And me and my brothers learned to ride on a matchless 500. No brakes. But it's great to be here today. Look, I'm going to be not long because I'm saving a lot of what I want to say here for tonight. I'm on a mission. Tonight's going to be awesome. But I stand here and I'm looking at all these men's faces. And I know there are others that are watching online and live, welcome, who couldn't make it for various reasons. But this is the genesis. This is the nucleus right here. You facing this way and hearing this now. You've been especially selected by God. I want to let you know that right now. This is more than just being involved in a movement, a church, anything we're doing. They're all important, but nothing's more important than that you were born for this. You were meant to be here. And I am speaking to a lot of men, others that are not here today, who are supposed to be a part of us. Some will come tomorrow. Some will come this month, year, and 10 years. They have been divinely touched to be a part of it. They just don't know yet, but they're on their way. So you can see the solidarity of this movement get to this point. And we've got to thank each other. We've got to thank all. I've got my pastors and leaders who've been faithful in staying as the 12, as we gathered the 70, and now it's moved to the thousands. But it's good to thank Kane and Jamie
of course, for staying with it, sticking with it, working the plans with myself and how to do this. And, you know, it's been trial and error, sticking with it, and it's really great. And Jamie's out probably doing the dishes. But anyway, that's my daughter. She won't be doing the dishes. And my wife been here, Hannah, and of course my son Sam and Kitty are here as well, and all of the rest of you, everybody. It's great. So we'll just take this 15, 20 minutes. I want to put this in you. So it's not a preachy sort of. I want to talk about what God is wanting to do right now. You already know. I've started something out of COVID. I kind of last night I did. We were all tired last night. We were walking on adrenaline really last night. It was a big day, but I'm glad I walked out of that room. I've had the major Pacific Island ministers and pastors in South Auckland and around the country and in Australia have come together. They decided after hearing yesterday, I also have been in touch with them before that with a special meeting. They want to join up with us. So the Pacific Island churches, so yeah. So they're going to arrange the meeting with the wider Pacific community leaders. So there was the Samoan Reverend, who was the leader of many churches, was there yesterday morning with our first meet. The Tongan, the Cook Island, and Niue Island, and Fijian. They were all there. They came yesterday morning, they sat and they watched and listened to the whole meeting, and some of them, and they stayed on to the hui. But they came collectively together and they discussed it without telling me. And that was good. I mean, they got me in the lunchtime thing, and then we sat down and they said, how do we join you? And before I could say anything, they said, hold on, no, you're the voice, you've got one leader. We've been waiting for one Māori leader. Yeah. So I said simply, you guys now have got the contacts, get as many as you can together, and I'll see you in the next few weeks. We will meet with them and I'll share that vision, this vision here of what we're doing and started. And I said, then we'll arrange a huge combined thing and we can get your people. But I said, you've got to clean up the religion in your churches. They took that pretty well, I thought. So I want to say to you, you guys are role models. We are being watched. One of them said, I've been watching you for the last 7 years. And he said, I knew you had something, us, together. But he said, I wanted to watch to see if it could last. Oh, thanks for the guys that stayed here. Those, and if we come back, hey, there's no condemnation. No, we just jump in. We're not those sort of guys. This is a unique movement. Hey, have a seat. Some of your legs are tired. It's good. I came to this. I didn't even know that was happening. Oh, I did, but I must have forgot about it. And I didn't know about the bikes, but it's awesome. Look, here's what's happening now, and I'm on a mission. This is like all my life. It's come to this moment. And we've probably got the greatest opportunity to be afforded to any human on the planet right now. You think of all the nationalities, every race, creed, and culture in the world. There's a lot happening in the world right now. Most of it's not good, and most of it's anti-Christ. So God has put a message out in the spirit world. I've picked it up, and I should. If I'm hearing right in my place and the position I have, I've got to be hearing God. And this is what I heard. He wants to raise this extreme level of human, this type of, species that's out there. So it meant that, and when I was so excited about that, because I've been sniffing on this thing for 15 years. There's nothing kind of new about my preaching. It's just that you've caught up. And I've actually improved too, and revelation comes and you get more light on it. But I started it with my Apostles Academy, and I'd expect all my sons to be on there. That's not just listening to preaching. That's actually getting a life injection of life change, transformation, the metamorphosis that we're undergoing. So we're in a massive transition right now, Destiny Church, to be world leaders in a new Christianity, a whole new brand of Christianity. I'm saying a whole new redefining. The old is, I've got to try and shake it out. That's why I love saving the most wicked fellas around. the most filthiest guys I can get. You know why? Because there's no religion in them. And when they change, he who's forgiven much loves much. And so I can work better with the worst because they got no religion to clean up. They come in and say, you talk to them about this is what you are, and they just receive it. But you've got to deal with an old religious dog. It's painful, you know. And it takes so long. So that's why God sometimes takes the outsider, takes the one that's been through the worst. You know what I mean? So to me, that's like a badge. It's like a star. It means that, you know, God always knew that as a race, particularly Māori and Pacific, because of the abuses of the past and being first peoples, they want to make you last people. And those ones want to take away what God had given to you as first peoples, kaitiaki mainly, and manakitanga. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about being caretakers of the environment and the creation that God has given us. That's a big privilege, that we know how to treat our resources, nature and creation. And that's the very thing that it responds to what has been given to it. And so I think in the beginning, we were always made to be in position. Even the big traverse across the Pacific Ocean from, they believe, Hawaii or where, it doesn't matter to me. They weren't guided by, you know, kind of different things that they did by the stars and that. They were guided by the wind. Mainly the wind is the only thing that can cross currents to bring a canoe to a place down on the bottom of the planet, the world, called Aotearoa, New Zealand. And that was, the wind's the spirit. And God got our ancestors here to get me and you born, so that we could start a move in a certain time of God's calendar that will release, first of all, every First Peoples nation, not just in New Zealand, but across the planet. Aboriginal, you go to the South Americans or Europe, every First Peoples has been abused, murdered, and raped. And just for your surprise, there are actually hundreds of thousands of them, tribal, all around Africa, through Europe, Middle East, right through, who were given that status of the boundaries that God gave them in the beginning, that this is your land, your water, your resources. You care for it. And those you invite in to share it with you, they must follow the kaupapa, right? But they didn't. Greed. And so they killed and raped, as I said. Now you understand this because this is a part of it. So what's been taken so low, it can't go any lower. I mean, you can't get any worse than being in that situation. And as I shared with one of the kaumātua yesterday, asking me some questions, and I said to him, because he noticed the difference, see, that's good, eh? That's what I really wanted. I wanted them to see, feel something different that they don't in all their travels around the motu and marae and that. And I'm not disparaging or I'm putting down anybody or anything. I'm laying this difference because it is important that after a while, it's got to be walk more than talk. You know, our words are so much, but our whānau will only watch you. And at first they will criticize you, mock me. Don't worry about that. Actually, the first great sign that you're a different man is when you don't react like you used to somebody criticizing me or criticizing your faith and your church. You actually stand and say, thanks, sis or brother, but one day you'll be with me and you'll understand. That's a good answer. I mean, it's more than how you answered. So, you know, and I know some of us, I felt like it for years to lash out. That's the natural thing, to fight back. But there's now a whole different way of fighting. Look, that means I'm really going to places I shouldn't at this stage in this meeting. But what I'm saying to you is that you're far more important than you actually realize. And what you've been called to is, of the magnitude of it, rests in our hands. So God has opened all these, and I've communicated and said, I know what you want. You want mini Christ. You don't really want to see Brian Tamaki. You want to see your son shine through. And I'm very happy about me being crucified and dying so that Christ lives in me, because I love Jesus. He's the hero. He's the man. There's nobody like that guy. He's it. I mean, if a man really knew that man and what he is, how he walked, talked, and what he did with people, where he came from as being God himself, then the humiliation of taking on flesh, that's a big one. So I want you to know that deep down, you've been given the privilege of being called. But that means now we've got to undergo transformation to be transfigured. It's a whole process of construction, and I'll be doing more tonight. I'm not really changing. I started light last night, just throwing your true identity to you. So we're not going to get involved in any other identities out there. Have it. It's okay to know who you are on your human side, or from your natural family and all that. But your whakapapa to Christ is the most important thing you must put up there. Right? So that's a transition in itself. Sometimes to leave it, you've got to leave something to believe something else, in a higher place. And so when Christ comes in like that and gives us that new life, there's the formation of something inside. It's hard for us and many men to realize that in the ordinariness and the life we've lived, we get so grooved and rutted into it that I'm going to spend the next 2 or 3 meetings working on your mind and your brain, changing your thinking, really smashing it, And when I say smashing, I mean really giving you revelation, and step by step I want to be a little bit more practical, because hearing stuff but not knowing how to do it, and that's why they wanted me to do another book, but I wanted to get together all my revelatory notes over the years of inspired preaching time. That's what that book is, that one there, about the revelatory notes. So I've made it, constructed it as an assistant, assisting you in an everyday to go show. So I want it simple. I made it for men. No. And I'm no way, downgrading your and my intelligence. It's just us guys don't want to read a story, not unless you have to, but I've put it there, sharp little things, and then a reason, and then you can write your own notes on there to say about this. So every day when you're away from here, right, that's when the test comes. It's not now, you're all cool now. We don't want too many reunions where we're seeing so many of you coming back after missing for 6 years. We want you to stay. So the others that you touch, they learn how to stay. They only be and do what you do and be. So if you're a stayer, they're going to be stayers too. So we need to multiply this, because God wants many. So let me just kind of do this, and then we'll move to the practical part of what I want to do with you. You have to understand that there has to be a whole new redefining. So we have actually been given the task by God to actually redefine what does this different man look like tomorrow, starting today. So I thought about this, and I thought, well, cleaning our lives up. But I actually thought this may be a new way of cleaning our lives up. When we still struggle with the everyday struggles, and I know some men, we're still doing things we know secretly we shouldn't be doing, saying and struggling with the same old habits and proclivities, anger and depression, watching pornography, and then going into the gang life again, and then smoking and then beating the missus. I've never seen one angry man who beats his missus that likes himself. In fact, and I've seen a lot over the years who've hit their wives, and every time I find the guy that hits the wife, he doesn't like himself. He's got problems himself when he beats his wife. And there's things like this you see over time, and that frustration. So it's before it comes outside, it's inside. Your depression doesn't start from coming out here, it starts in here. Then it manifests out there. And that's what I've been trying to teach you over the period of time, that it's all reversed now. It's not what they did out here, it's what you're doing in here. Anger starts in the bosom, here. That's what Ecclesiastes said. Then it comes and it's expressed after a while through a manifestation on the outside. So if you're a good guy in here, you're going to be a good guy out here. If you're a cunning guy in here, it's going to be cunningly seen out here. You cannot violate the law of what's in you will come out of you. So that's why people say, about bitterness and then sweetness. Pressure of life, and so when you're pushed against the wall about trouble or paying bills, or your girlfriend or your wife or someone or your family is saying something about you, and you keep denying it and you're trying to live, and then pressure, you call it, life is getting on top of you, and that happens to a lot of people. That's just the thing that actually circumstances are used to squeeze you to the point that you can see you from what's in you. Because sometimes we falsely assess what we really are like inside. So the only way you can tell what's inside is by squeezing it. So, and what comes out of the squeezing was always what's in there. So when you squeeze, so if you squeeze a lemon, right? When you squeeze a lemon, juice comes out and it's bitter. You go, ooh, that's bitter. Before the squeezing, you don't know what's in the lemon till you squeeze it. So don't always curse your crisis or get upset with your trouble. Sometimes we need it because we're not listening, or you listened and then you forgot and then you change course, because you're too valuable to be letting go down a wrong road. You know what I mean? You are too valuable to go out of here and take a wrong direction. So God says, hold on, you were with these fellas. You were standing there clapping. You were riding with them. You were listening to his messages. You were giving high five. You were wearing the two tangata jacket. And now, 5 weeks later, you're doing another path. So what he does, he sneaks some circumstances your way. And he squeezes you. If you want to blame God, go ahead. It's okay. Because then you know you can't go anywhere or think anything without him knowing. That's true. But he squeezes it, and that squeezes you, and out comes what? Lemon? Or if you squeeze a honeycomb, what comes out? Honey, sweet. All it does is reveal what's inside. Is it bitter or is it sweet? And that's for me to face. And I realize, driving the car, man, I had that in me, and I got to deal with it, and I do it right now. Out you go. I don't want to be talking like that again. It's not good. That's what I do in the car. Or, hey, I got on the phone and I did that. I know it's wrong. Then say it so you can hear it, so you're telling yourself that you're under construction, you're changing. And so you're forcing yourself with yourself to face up to yourself. It's best if you can self-cleanse, then we have to come and change your nappies. It's embarrassing. All right, so what this means is pretty much leading into tonight. I'm going to touch on some radical things that God has opened up to me for us, but they're so true, and they've never been touched on in Christianity ever, right? Nothing. So tonight is the beginning of it, and then Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday night. So I don't want to do that here. I just want to let you know how important you are, and so you can come more ready tonight, but it's very important that you realize the special mission to be given. And God has said, all right, I'm going to give you the opportunity, but if you don't, I'm going to move to Australia and I'm going to try Pastor Sam if you fellas blow it. And if Sam blows it, he's going to take it to the AOG. Oh, God forbid. Or the Elam Church, or he's going to take it to the Life Church or somebody else, He will. If we fail, he's going to take it to a group of men who are going to rise up to it. I mean, we can't call him back and say, look, give us another chance. He says, I did. I don't want to lose that opportunity, because me and you're not going to live long enough to get it back. Our children and our grandchildren will be kicking our headstone. You damn had the opportunity, Dad, and you blew it. And I missed out. I missed out because you couldn't stick with it. You couldn't put your hand up long enough. You fell back into meth. You went off with another woman. You blimmin' did this, and you left the church and whatever else. You blew it. You didn't think about me or your muckles. I want them to come to my headstone and say, here he is. Or whatever, and remember, boy, I'm so grateful for my father and my grandfather, whatever. I didn't realise what they did, and now I do, and all the muckles are there. What was he like, Daddy, Mummy? Can you tell us? Yeah, look at these, because technology now. There's your daddy. Got the two tangata jacket on. That's where it started. You mean this great movement started from these fellas? What a raggedy looking bunch. Well, that's us. Those are the originals. And they started this great global movement. Yeah, but all the Chiwiki Indians of Canada, they were touched by them too. They know them. And all of the First Peoples and the Aborigines and the South American First People, the European, they all look back to this group. They started something. You know? What if we in the next year have a huge Pan and First Peoples Indigenous conference here in New Zealand and invite every Indigenous representative from their tribes to attend, so we can pass on how to kill them. Devils, I mean. How to get it all back. What do you... Well, I mean it. Oh, you guys. All right. Okay. So what I need to do now is a validation is what we've called it. But I think this was important that you know the next step that's coming. So now you're a marked man. You are marked. You are touched God. And this process I'm going to do is the oil. It means that the oil, where the oil goes to you, that oil is representative of the fact that we have unity in Psalm 133. That he says there, how good and how pleasant it is when the brothers dwell together in unity. Unity, where there's no disagreement. And that's why I'm happy to do this today. And he said, then he begins to talk about how now the oil goes, and that runs from the head right over the whole body. And he commands a blessing. A commanded blessing goes to a unified. So that's the first step of power. Now, when you get this, you can't break the chain, boys. You know, we don't want to be hauled up and all us guys on that row are going out to do our stuff. You know, we're doing it hard, and you decide to pull the link out, and you're going to ticky Heidi off to do something that you know you shouldn't be doing. And the brothers are working hard, sweating, and we're sacrificing, getting our lives changed, and you're hooning it. You know, you're breaking it. That doesn't mean to say, just say, we reach out to you, grab you. You get your, yeah, you know. So put it back in this link. Couple of boys, kick his, yeah. So get back in here, because this is where we need you. We come here, but it's better not to do that if we hold strong. That's the unity. God visits unity. And when we've got that unity and power, I reckon he's going to allow us to go to the next step. And that next step, and I'm seeing this in 2022, I believe he's going to release signs, wonders, and miracles. You're going to actually have cases where some of you men, many of us, are going to be able to heal by just touching, speaking words, and demons are going to come out. That's where he wants to get us. So, and that in itself is going to cause a whole uproar in any city and town and country. You're going to have queues outside your offices, the church doors are open, people are going to rush in, they're going to throw these sick, they're going to bring their psychological problems, they're going to bring their mental problems, their sexual abuse problems, and you're going to stand there and you're going to know how to release them. Man Up's going to almost morph into demonstrations of power. Because you're healed, and now you're demonstrating power through you. When you're healed, you heal others. You are blessed because I am here to bless my town, my neighborhood, my workplace. You're going to just walk into some places and you won't even know it, but you're carrying a glory glow that's going to belt them with bright light. I mean, honestly. Okay, so are we ready for this? Stand up, guys. I'm going to practically do this because it's important. So what I'm going to do, I've got the oil. I've prayed over this oil. I just need to touch you. That's all we need to get the oil to touch your head. The moment it touches your head, we're actually sealing something very powerful amongst the movement of men, right? So we're going to stay together tight. I don't know all of the men that are representing you've got facilitators, Man Up, and you're connected. The thing is now after this, you've got to be tight with your team and say to them, you've got my back, brother. I don't want to let the team down. You watch me and I'll watch you. And we're going to watch each other, okay? Can you be your brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? That's what he said about that to God when he said, God, what's the answer? Well, yeah, you are your brother's keeper. I'm your keeper. So we keep each other tight. we get to a point where you won't need that after a while because you'll be helping a lot of others. So is that cool? But hey, I'm going to put this in. I don't want to, but I shouldn't, and I should. But if there's something that happens, these men are here to help you back, to get you to stand up again. We will not let any man be left behind. Right? All right, I'm going to come down the best way because we've got to go for a ride, some of us, and got an appointment in the spirit, okay? So we're going to go somewhere and I'm going to ride with the guys. And if you haven't got a bike or a car, you can come along, that's cool. Or you can hang, go around and do something, whatever. But this is what we're going to do. I think we've got a feed later on. 1,000 burgers. 1,000 venison burgers. I had one last night. They were awesome, man. I know the meat's good, but they've made this burger. It's better than McDonald's one. So 1,000, that means you're going to have... Okay. So guys, can I just ask you to come pretty quickly? I don't want, if you need special prayer, just receive it on that one thing, because you'll hold up all the other fellas who want to talk to me, even for 3-4 seconds. That means we're going to be too long, because there's quite a few of you. Is that okay, guys? Thank you. Come ready tonight. Tell your wife tonight and your children, get ready tonight, because something's going to happen to us. All right? Just get them prepared. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. I love you, men. And I'll come down here. All right. So the oil is clear, so I don't need to say anything because we know what it is now, eh, guys? This is going to link us into a very powerful unity. Very powerful. Okay. Father, in Jesus' name, I pray right now as the oil has already been blessed, as it is represented in Psalm 133, that the oil of anointing, it's the anointing that touched David. David was touched by oil. The oil was representative of killing ugly counterfeit giants. I ask now, Lord, the same oil that touched David's forehead touches the Davids in this room. They're going to kill and slay Goliath and giants and every other demonic power that stands in the way of the sons of God. In Jesus' name, special powers. Amen.
cheek. Fantastic. Hey, just while Apostle is anointing everyone, we have got something to eat after this. So we've got some free burgers, and we've also got something to take away with. So make sure that you stick around, get anointed. And just while, if you are waiting down the back, if we could just keep the noise down, that'd be fantastic. So this is a special time for a lot of us men. But as soon as you do finish whānau, we've got some burgers out the front by the pool. If you could grab something to eat and then make your way, just so that the ladies can get in here next. But no food in the sanctuary. Make sure that you stick around to get anointed by our apostle. Ka pai? Ka pai.